Y'all remember back in the day when we used to watch The Cosby Show? And there were a couple of episodes where Cliff would have to go to the doctor, and when he'd come back from the doctor, Claire would ask him, hey, what did the doctor say? Now, she already knew the answer to the question, but she was asking him to see if he was going to be truthful about it. Now, last week I had a doctor's appointment. It just happened to fall on my birthday. So I was all prepared to go by myself, so I'm thinking I'm going by myself, and my wife surprises me and she says, hey, I took off, so I'm going to take you to the doctor. So we get to the doctor's office and we're sitting in the waiting room, and this lady walks up and she sits down across from her. She happened to be Caucasian. Now I mention that only because wives seem to have this sisterhood, this unspoken language when it comes to husbands. And this will make sense in a couple of seconds. So the nurse comes back and says, and calls my name and says, you can come on back. And as I was getting up, my wife says, I'm going to stay right here. So I asked the nurse, hey, is it okay if my wife come back with me? So my wife says, hey, she looks at the lady and says, didn't you hear me tell him that I was going to sit right here? And the woman looks at her and smiles and says, well, you know, they need us. Now, there was a method to my madness. See, every time I go to the doctor's office, as soon as I leave out, I got to call her and let her know exactly what the doctor says. So my thing is that I'm cutting out the middleman, me being the middleman. So if you're in the office with me, if you're back there with me, then you know everything that the doctor has said. You don't have to ask me. You don't have to wonder if I'm telling you the truth. You already know. So it made me think about, as a man, before I got married, I wonder how I survived, how I managed to make it before my wife came along. And I'm sure other men out there have had that question, have asked themselves that, because it seems like we must have been destitute. We must have been like a little lost puppy standing on the side of the road in the cold, and our wives came along and scooped us up and put us in the car and wrapped us up, took us home and cleaned us all up and fed us and decided to keep us. All those years I was on the road and I was making reservations because my job had me going to this place and that place, making reservations, packing my bags and making sure that I had something to eat. And I just don't know how I managed to make it, how I managed to survive all by myself. Now, by no means am I saying that I don't need my wife, because I do. And I want everybody to understand something, that I love my wife and I like my wife as well. But it just seemed funny to me. I was thinking about it, how funny it is that once you get married, all the stuff that you were doing before, it seems like you become handicapped once you get married. Either you've decided to become handicapped or they have made you handicapped. And you just don't realize, you don't even realize how you were able to walk and chew gum before they came along. So I just a little something that I was thinking about. There's something I want to share with you. I think this funny. I pray that all of you have a wonderful day, and I love each and every one of you.